All right, welcome back. In your topic for financial markets corporations, you have three lecture slides. I've already covered two of them. Now it's the last lecture slides. Right, the last lecture slides that you have there, it's talking about state-owned enterprises, and I give you a brief on what is a board of director. So when you talk about topics to be covered, is corporate governance, boards and corporate governance in PNG, and state-owned enterprises. All right. So a brief definition of what corporate governance is. Corporate governance, basically, when you look at the HIH Royal Commission report, Justice Owens stated briefly that corporate governance, by which is a properly understood description of framework of rules, relationships, systems, and procedures within which by which authorities exercise and control corporations. Right, there's a definition of the World Bank corporate governance as well. So it's a consists of systems by which companies are directed and controlled, and it is about having companies, owners, and regulators become more accountable, efficient, and transparent, which will build trust and confidence. Right. The OECD also has given some definitions of corporate governance. You would note that it involves a relationship between a company's management, its board, and shareholders. Right, separation of ownership and control of companies. So if you look at your slides there, it says that control is the actual power to select the board either by control majority of votes, directly through some legal device or process which influence choice. Separation of ownership control of the modern corporate rested on three foundations. One, the display of stock holdings, so that one stockholder typically owns a significant fraction of the stock, the small holdings of management, and also the diverse interest of stockholders management. Control of company can be done either through complete ownership, majority control, through a legal device such as a trust, a minority control, or management control. All right, I've explained that. And then the division of the board of powers between the board of directors and the general meeting. The two principal organs of corporations are the board of directors and the general meeting. The mandatory role of the general meeting is to appoint and remove the directors, approve their remuneration, and to change institution. The basic role of the board of directors is to manage or direct management. The power of the board cannot be altered except by amendments to the articles of constitution. Alright, so if you see, the business of a company is managed under the control of the directors, and they have the direct supervision of the company, and that is how they manage it. Alright, board meetings, so constitutional listen, they take a meeting of the boards, and it must be meeting of the board of directors, and it's called by the company secretary. So let's look at an example. Okay, currently now we look at Bank of Papua New Guinea. BSP has 9 directors, so Mr. Robert Bradshaw is the chairperson, and then directors are appointed on merit, and then the years of experience. All right, now let's look at some of the major shareholders of BSP, which are IPPC, NASFA, Number One Super, Credit Corp, PRK, MVIL, Kita Savings and Loan Society, Commerce Trustees, and then the International Food Corporation. These are all the shareholders of BSP. So I've given you the directors of BSP up there, and then now I've given you the shareholders of BSP. Historically, the role of the modern board of directors was to manage affairs and business of the company. It must be managed under a direct supervision of the board. So all the big companies, you have to have a board that sits there, and the board manages the business. Out of the board of directors, one of them is appointed to become the CEO or the managing director. He's also a board member, but he's the CEO or the managing director. The Companies Act 1997 and common law practice, as well as international governance practice, they bestow on directors certain duties. The first is to always act bona fide in good faith for the company, not to further one's discretion, and duty to avoid conflict. So all the duties of directors I've listed it for there, and the relative provision in the Companies Act as well. So for instance, to act in good faith in the best interest of the company, that's section 112. So when you look at it, you will note that corporate governance is the study of relationship between the director and the CEO, the boards, and the shareholders. So with good corporate governance, it will result in very good sort of profitability and achievement for the company. Bad corporate governance will result in the company not performing to the best of its ability. That means that you look at companies like BSP, which is making 1 billion profit every year, and you look at companies like PNG Power, which is always in debt, does not fail to deliver its social objectives, always struggling. This type of events, you would see that it will basically be something that people have to look at and say that because of bad corporate governance, these things are happening.